Hi, I'm Stefan, the BMW DIY guy, and I want to show you how you can easily install the Zunsport front screens onto your BMW 4 Series. Alright guys, let's talk about this project a little bit before we do it. And you know how much I love my Zunsport screens on my M2 Competition. They do a fantastic job of protecting all those front radiators. So when I got an opportunity to install a set on a 4 Series, I jumped at it and I want to show you how to do it. It's really not all that hard. It's only going to take a few simple tools. It won't take very long. And I think not only looks really good, depending whether you go with the black or the silver, depending on your car color or how you want it set up, but then it's going to do a great job in protecting all of those expensive radiators. You know, the great thing about the BMW Sport design, all those front bumpers, they look super aggressive. They have those big, muscular openings on them, but they also suck up a lot of rocks and other things that can come through your existing grills way too easy. That's where these come in, and I want to walk you through the install. It's really simple. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, y'all, so I want to do one additional step that I really think is a good idea when you put these screens on, because the screens are very tight, so you have to maneuver and get them into place, and the last thing you want to do is kind of rake them up your paint and potentially scratch your paint, right? That would really defeat the whole purpose. So I'm a big fan of painter's tape, so go ahead and just take a little bit of painter's tape and work your way around the edge of just right at the edge of your paint and your screens, and just take it in pieces, wrap it all the way around so all of these existing edges are covered. So as we maneuver the screen into place, we're not going to scrape up the paint at all. Adds a little bit of time, but it's really not hard. I won't show and waste your time putting tape all the way around and show you that whole process. You get the idea. So let me get tape on just this section, and then I'll show you how to fit this screen in. Then we're going to duplicate it across all the rest. All right, guys, so I've got the painter's tape all laid out. As you can see, really simple. So quick example, and one of the reasons why I really like these screens. So you've got your brake ducts right here on the F32 that go all the way back. So it can potentially help keep big objects out of your brake ducting. But also, we've got two of these broken right here. And you can see where it took a rock hit right here and actually broke these grills a little bit. Now the good news is that you can just line them right back up into place and they'll be fine. But it just really calls out why you want these screens. I love the appearance, but they're going to do a really good job in helping to protect all your radiators back here. So as you look at your intercooler and your radiators, you need to protect them. So let's install the screens next. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and start with the center screen. It's a little bit different than the two outer ones. So let's start here. So if you notice, there are these hooks on both sides. And these are going to hook in and behind, in and around the existing OEM plastic. So you're going to want to fish in one side and then bend in the other. And I'm going to show that in just a second. There's also one toggle right here in the middle that you're going to want to slide into place and actually put that into place first. So make sure to fit the supplied screw and the toggle through this before you hook it into place, because this is going to hang on to the existing fins right in the middle and help provide stability in the middle. So when we install it, as you can see right here, we're going to install it in sideways, so it'll slide into the existing fins. You can use a pick or a screwdriver to reach in between the screens, turn it, and hold it into place as then we tighten it down and hold in. Okay? So go ahead and start by hooking one side in first. Your painter's tape will help protect it. You're going to want to bend and hook in for the other side and just slowly work it into place. Okay, so let me rearrange my camera a little bit. We'll get the screen into place and we'll tighten down that toggle. All right, so as you can see, I've put the hooks in on both sides, so it's really the easiest way is just to bow it in, because this is flexible enough. You can hook one side, get that hook back behind on the plastic, bow the screen a little bit, get the other hook in, and then you have your toggle right in the middle. So if you press on the screen, so if you have the toggle horizontal, press on the screen, you can reach through, and this is a 3mm Allen into that bolt right there. You can press the screen in so the toggle goes past the vanes on the existing screen, and then just turn the bolt and that toggle will turn vertical. So now it's actually hooked onto the existing, by pressure it's hanging on to the existing vanes of the existing screen. And then all you have to do is just tighten it up. So you just take your 3mm Allen. I'm sure you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but the screen is slowly sliding back because right now it's bowed out a little bit. So go ahead and just tighten it up. You'll see it moving backwards, and I'll tighten in nicely just like that. All right, y'all, so the outer screens are going to be the same on both sides, but they're a little bit different from the center, so I'll show you in detail on one side, and then when you do the other, it's going to be exactly the same. So where the center had, one of these kind of little bracket mounts, the center screen had one right in the middle, and the toggle, this has three, one on each corner, one on the end, but instead of using a toggle, you're actually going to be using these very, very fine Phillips screws. So when you hold this up here, as you'll see, now the plastic surround around your fog light is solid, so you can see where you're going to be driving screws in through that frame. So what I would actually recommend is probably use something like a punch. You could use a very, very small drill. You could use a pencil to reach in and reach through that little bracket to mark where that plastic is going to, where that screw is going to go in through the plastic. Now, I actually like the idea of using a punch because if you use it very carefully, you can, or a pick, this is a straight pick, obviously, you can actually make a little bit of an indentation, so you can get a pilot hole going for the screw so it'll bite in cleanly when you put it in. It's a really, really fine screw, so when you set that screw in, be really careful about it. So, obviously I'm going to hold it up, I'm going to mark the three places, I'm going to drive the screws in, and then this will be secure. So let me get that set and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, also, as you can see, the screen on this side is in place. It really is that simple. Now, a couple of quick recommendations, especially the screws on this corner. You're driving them into hard plastic. So I went ahead and used that straight pick tool to drive into the plastic and basically make a pilot hole so it's not as hard to drive that screw in, because they're pretty small screws and trying to drive them in by themselves is going to be really, really hard. So you can make essentially a small pilot hole with the proper tool, and then they'll just go in straight. Now, in addition, I've got the Zunsport logo badge on. Now, the cool thing is it's optional. It's got little clips on the back so you can install it wherever you want it, or if you want to install it at all. But as you can see, I just wanted to show just as an option of where to put it. So go ahead and do the other side if you haven't already, and you're done. All right, y'all, so all done. Looks fantastic. I really do love these screens. I do love the aesthetic and how it changes what they look like, but then they're going to add all of this additional functionality and protection for all of your radiators. So I highly recommend this. This is such an easy install. This is something you should absolutely do. All right, guys, all done. This only takes a few simple tools and takes about 15 to 20 minutes or so to do the install, and I highly recommend it. So not only do I love the way these look, I think it really smooths out that grille design, but then, of course, they're going to protect all your important radiators, your oil cooler, your intercooler, your radiator, all of these things that if you took a rock in while you're out on the road, you could be broken down by the side of the road, and that would really, really suck. So Zunsport makes a fantastic product. I've installed this on multiple cars, and I really don't know why you wouldn't do it. So thank you to Zunsport for making such a fantastic product that's so easy to work with. I appreciate you watching my video. Please click subscribe and the little alarm bell. It makes a huge difference to my channel, and I have a ton of content coming that I can't wait to bring to you, and I'll see you on my next project.